No, we're done. We just solved world hunger.
Well done, F1 chat. Pat ourselves on the back. We have just fixed sprint races. We've made it exciting.
We have successfully privatised world peace.
I would watch the shit out of that too.
Hello there in Internetland. This is episode 3 of the 2024 season of the F1 Chat. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Seated to my left is a man who's been using the F1 Chat's Twitter profile to like OnlyFans, and that's JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
It was an accident. Number one, it was an accident. Number two, you don't know the motivation it takes to run a Twitter page. But I'm alright, considering the fact this time yesterday I was bedridden with the flu. It's pretty good.
You sure those OnlyFans models weren't leaving him a lot of money on the table?
A lot of Kleenexes next to the bed regardless.
Oh, shit. It's time for the old switcheroo.
Box.
It's hammer time.
Time to switch to the hards.
Talking of switching to the hards, seated to my right is Longhorn. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm going well. This is the life I needed.
This is a banger of an entry. Seriously,
this might be our best one yet.
Yeah. This is just a humdinger. So, a couple of days ago, we watched the Jeddah Saudi Arabian F1 from the Jeddah Corniche
street circuit.
Sorry, what they call it Jeddah Corniche. I sit there and think, is that a town in England?
It does sound like it, doesn't it?
I'm not sure what the Corniche part
or French
is.
Corniche.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know, but it won't be there much longer if they get the Rainbow Road up and going.
Well, we'll have to talk about that a bit later, won't we?
Oh, yeah. So we watched the F1, which we will talk to about in a minute. And before you start your F2 report, I saw the damnedest thing ever on Sunday. Did anyone else watch the Formula Academy second race?
I did. And I've never... If you're going to... The penalty?
I've never seen someone take the checkered flag twice.
I heard about this.
Because she took the win. There was a...
Dorian Pin.
Dorian Pin.
Dorian Pin?
Yep.
Dorian Pin.
Yeah. Dorian, yeah. Butchering her name, but anyway,
yeah.
She won.
She won the race.
Except she didn't.
Except her team forgot to tell her that was the last lap of the race. So she's still hooking it around the track at race speed.
On the cool-down lap, she's hauling ass.
Yeah.
Full race pace.
And then, right before she takes the checkered flag a second time at race pace, her team gets on the radio and goes, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What, I'm still racing." And they're like, "No, the race is over. It's over. You finished a lap ago." And she's like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Yeah, she was just so focused. And I'll go into bat for her because there is an onboard photo of when she crosses the line and the checkered flag's not out. They didn't wave it like the chick that was supposed to wave it. It was like still curled around like the pole. Oh. So as she's got to flick it out, like it's out, but it's not out. And I don't blame Dornia for not seeing it. Like, I'm actually on her side because, number one, her team's not celebrating down the radio. And number two, you can't see the checkered flag from the cockpit.
Yeah, didn't they all take their headsets off straight away and just start celebrating and didn't say anything to her? Yeah.
Yep. And then she's halfway around the lap at full pace and, like, the marshals are coming on the track to set up the thing and she's, like, full speed. And she's like, "Oh, someone needs to get on the headset and tell her that the race is over." And they eventually did. She got to the last corner and came back, but she was handed a 20-second time penalty for it and demoted from first. But in her defense, I'll put the photo in the group chat and you can make the decision for yourself. But I'm on her side for that one. It was pretty bad.
I've never seen that before, though. Yeah. That was uncanny.
I mean, I've seen last year in MotoGP, one of the riders celebrate a lap early.
Yeah.
Came across the line in third, I think. Celebrated, didn't realise there was still a lap to go. I think he finished like 6th or 8th.
Well, that happened to Sebastian Vettel one year in Canada, I think it was, where they waved the flag a lap early.
Yeah.
And he got on the radio because he was...
But at least he knew the lap count. He's like, this is the last lap now,
yeah,
isn't it?
because this was his first...
It was Serena Williams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Serena Williams waved the checkered flag a lap early.
Look, I'm going to say this just as a blanket thing. I think officials should wave the flag, not celebrities.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Jeremy Clarkson did a pretty good job in Bahrain.
Yeah, but he was pissed as a
He was
fart.
hammered, though.
That's the way you should do it if it's not a marshal.
Exactly.
Pissed, isn't it?
But yeah, that was uncanny, and also watching Formula Academy, like,
How is it, the racing?
it's I'm trying to not word it in a
mean,
sexist way.
It's all right.
Because
It's very Formula Ford.
yeah,
Very
but it's
Formula 3.
but I mean, like
Yeah.
I saw the one accident that happened was the clumsiest thing I've ever seen, which was what's her name, Lola Lovenfoss.
Yeah, Lavin Foster Joe, yeah.
Yeah,
She Williams Academy, wasn't she? Or was the Williams Academy the one that hit her?
Williams Academy was Mia Block.
Oh, yeah.
Mia-
Mia Block was the one that hit her.
Yeah, because she spun her car, and she didn't wait until all the other cars had gone. She just lit it up,
Yeah.
and then Mia Block
T-boned.
just smacked into her.
So she's come straight back on the track.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in turn 1, so it was slow as fuck, but still.
Yeah, and just
She got a penalty for that, too.
yeah, and you're just sitting there going, why would you do that? Like,
Look, it's a start. For a series, it's a start. The women need to start somewhere.
yeah,
Like, they're going to get better. Like, the racing's not great.
But the problem is, all the really good women races were in last year's season. They're not in this season.
Which is weird. Why wouldn't you just continue?
Because, like, some of them, I can't pronounce her name, but Biet something or other.
Yeah.
She left and she drives Le Mans cars.
Oh, probably with the Iron Dames.
Yeah.
Yeah. The all-female team at Le
You
Mans
know?
in that Porsche.
But
They're good, too.
who's
They can drive.
who's that Australian or South American OnlyFans lady that also does racing occasionally?
Yeah, you mean Renee Gracie.
Renee Gracie. She
think
should
she
go
might be
over and
Aussie.
do it. She could be sponsored by OnlyFans and just slap
Well,
OnlyFans all
her-
over it.
She
We'll
she
sponsor her.
Is. She is.
We'll be on the comments,
I'll
apparently.
be, I'll be on the Twitter X page waiting. I'm not paying $12.99 USD a month, though.
No, that's the
$2.99.
that's not that's too much for the old switcheroo.
YouTube doesn't pay us enough for us to subscribe to your OnlyFans.
Yeah, sorry, you can get stuffed. But
All right.
yeah, it was even the commentary was just
A
really
bit rubbish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't they have got Danica Patrick to do that? Just saying. Anyway,
Yeah, look, it's a start.
yeah.
It's a start. Don't expect miracles straight away.
Hopefully it will get better.
Yeah, hopefully the product as a whole will get better.
Speaking of getting better, just like this podcast, it is now time for the F2 report. Take it away, Longhorn.
Alrighty. F2. Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Corniche circuit. We had... Well, first off, we'll start with quali, which is actually an interesting one because it was a driver that didn't end up racing in F2 this weekend because he ended up racing in F1.
There you go.
It was Oliver Bearman.
Yeah, the man of the
Ollie
year,
Bearman.
too sweet to be sour. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll get into him later. But yeah, he actually was the quali winner this week, but obviously he didn't race. Then we had a sprint race, as we always do, so I'll give you the quick top three out of that one. We had Dennis Hauger, who had a stonking weekend this week, so he got third in the feature race and won the sprint race, so that was great for his points haul this weekend. In second in the sprint race, we had Paul Aaron, and in third, we had Enzo Fittipaldi, who also had a really great weekend this weekend, which we'll get to now when we get to the feature race, which we had Enzo Fittipaldi winning. He put in a really, really good performance. It was actually a really interesting race this week.
It was a really good feature race.
Yeah, it was really good. The racing was good. This year's actually looking really decent in the F2.
Yeah, it's competitive.
Yeah, it's quite competitive.
I understand what you mean about the car sounding weird, though.
Yeah,
They
you
sound
hear
really
it now,
tweety,
don't
yeah.
they? Yeah.
On
yeah.
the downshifts. It's
Yeah,
like,
when
it's
when
like-
they're hitting the corners. And
yeah,
they're-
it's just like,
like
it sounds odd,
it doesn't sound.
but
quite
they
right.
look great.
They do. They look awesome, these cars, and it's also good to see that it's shaping up to be really competitive. It's not,
Yeah,
looking like there's going to be this clear-cut winner. Everyone seems to have a good chance of winning on the weekend if they can put it together. So, the top 10 of our feature race, we had Enzo Fittipaldi taking out the win. We had Kush Miney coming in second, who took pole behind Oliver Bearman. In third, we had Dennis Hauger. In fourth, we had Jack Crawford. In 5th, Emery Cordial. In 6th, Kimi Antonelli. In 7th, Zane Maloney. 8th, Richard Verschoor. 9th, Rafael Villagomez. And 10, Paul Aaron. And now, before I get to the standings, I actually forgot something about the sprint race. So, Dennis Hauger won, but only due to a technicality.
Oh?
The real winner of the race was Richard Verschoor. But he got disqualified due to a technical breach after the race. So, this is coming from the FIA. The Trident 22 and 23 cars, so that was Richard Verschoor and his teammate Roman Stanek, were disqualified because they were found to have an incorrect throttle pedal progressivity map installed prior to the race.
So they're using too much throttle or too less throttle?
I'm not sure what they mean by that.
It's probably, however far you push the throttle pedal, it's probably either giving more or less, maybe either to limit wheel spin or to give too much wheel spin. I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds like what it is.
Sound like, yeah.
Sort of like, maybe it might be sort of like a traction control sort of
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, sort of like limiting the power on throttle, deliberately.
Yeah.
Sort of like a traction control, especially coming out of slower corners like Sector 1.
Something to give them a bit more grip when they put the...
That sort of sounds like what it might be.
Yeah, something to give them a bit more smoothness when they put the throttle down.
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
Out. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. So, yeah, he actually got the win stripped of him. So,
there you go.
yeah, so not...
Two winners stripped of their victory this weekend.
Yeah, so not ideal for him. But that gets us to the standings. So, the top 10 for the championship standings after 2 races. We still have Zane Maloney out on top with 47 points. In second, we have Enzo Fittipaldi with 32 points. In third, we have Dennis Hauger with 31 points. In fourth, we have Paul Aaron with 29 points. In fifth, we have Kush Marnie with 27 points. Sixth, Pepe Marte with 26 points. Seventh, Zach Crawford with 24 points. Eighth, Gabriel Bortoletto with 15 points. Ninth, Zach O'Sullivan with 14 points. And rounding out the top 10, we have Kimi Antonelli with 12 points. And that is the wrap for the F2 this weekend.
Before we move on from F2 on to F1...
And we're going to have a special mention. Enzo Fittipaldi passed 2 cars in one corner to win that race.
Yeah, it was actually a great...
It was a double overtake on the outside into turn 1, and it was fucking brilliant.
Another thing to add to that too, actually, Dennis Hauger got the last podium place on the last, literally, sprint to the line.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting.
It was
too.
a good race.
Yeah.
So, with F2, though, because last year we were very critical about F2.
Yes.
Do you think there is a genuine step up in the quality of the drivers this year?
There's a genuine step up in the quality of the racing.
Yeah. I'm not sure right now if it... I think it might be.
I mean, Maloney's there,
be.
Bearman's there when he gets back. Antonelli's there. Fittipaldi's there. I think there's... Right now, it's only 2 races in. This could change, but right now there seems to be a multiple, drivers that can win races on any weekend.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure yet if it's a step up in the driver or if it's more of all the drivers, say, in the top 10 range are more competitive this year. So they're all more closer in their ability. So they're putting these closer races together.
Yeah.
Where last year it was sort of like... It was kind of up in the air. One person would have a good week and everyone else would really do horribly. Like there wasn't the competitiveness. It was just... But this year it's like anyone in that top 10 is sort of... is in it. So
all in it to win it.
And even though...
And we'll get a chance because if I'm not mistaken, F1, F2 and F3 are all going to Melbourne.
They are.
Yeah.
So we'll get a chance to see them live in person. Well, not live in person, but live.
Yeah.
To see how good the racing progresses at Albert Park.
Well... a lot of talk about Kimi Antonelli.
Yes.
Like, is he matching up to the hype, or...
Not yet.
Yeah, it's 2 races in, and the way I look at it is the guys that are stepping up at the moment are quite young, so they're the guys stepping up from F3. So maybe it is a case
the guy
of...
that's stepping up at the moment.
Yeah, maybe it is a case of the drivers are actually that little bit more talented than what we've seen the last few years, because a lot of the guys at the moment are the guys stepping up from F3. They're all new.
Yeah.
You've got your Zane Maloney, who's come out and killed it. Enzo Fittipaldi's not new, but he was there or thereabouts last year. He was always up there, so this is a big year for him to show that can be the guy, and so far he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Dennis Hauger's the same.
Yeah.
Kush Marnie, another guy who's up there in the points at the moment. Not a new guy, but those 3 guys were from last year that are so far looking in it this year.
Yeah.
And then you do have all the new guys like your Antonelli who stepped up, your Paul Aaron who stepped up, your Bortoletto who stepped up. You know, all these guys, Zach O'Sullivan, they're all rounding out the top 10 at the moment in the points. And
I think there's one more name, though, that isn't in the points, but, well, I mean, we saw him jump into an F1 car at 11th hour and did pretty solid, and that's Oliver Bearman.
Yes, that's true. He's only forgotten literally because we're going to talk about him in the F1 space this week.
He currently has no points in
He's
F2.
got 0 points, but just because he was driving a Formula 1 car, so did he really lose?
Well, like I said, he took pole.
Yeah,
He would have got points.
Yeah, so he would have been up there for a podium this week, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got points because he got points in the F1 race. Take it away, JB.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll preface this by saying Carlos Sainz was sick over the weekend, but his illness turned out to be appendicitis. So he was rushed to hospital to have his appendix cut out, much like his old man was.
Yeah, did you see the photo?
Yeah, that was brilliant.
There's a photo, for the people listening, there's a photo of Carlos Sainz and his dad, Carlos Sainz Sr., in the hospital, and then a photo of Carlos Sainz Sr. in the hospital with his father years and years ago. A black and white photo. That's how long ago it was.
His appendix out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, 2024. STC, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit. Lap 1, Max Verstappen starts on pole position alongside Charles Leclerc. Verstappen holds the lead. Sergio Perez squeezes past Charles Leclerc into second, but Charles gets him back. Pierre Gasly reports a gearbox problem on the formation lap, and he is told to retire the car on lap 1. Alpine going great guns. Lap 2, Oscar Piastri passes Fernando Alonso for 4th. Lap 4, Sergio Perez passes Charles Leclerc for 2nd. Lap 7, Lance Stroll smashes into the barriers after clipping the wall and breaking his suspension, triggering a safety car and a slew of pit stops as everybody pits for hard tyres to try and go to the end. Lap 11, Kevin Magnussen and Alex Albon make contact off the restart, Albon losing some of his front wing. Lap 13, Max Verstappen passes Lando Norris for the lead of the Grand Prix. Lap 14, Oliver Bearman passes Zhou Guanyu for 10th. Lap 15, Lando Norris is cleared by the FAA of jumping the start. Lap 16, Sergio Perez is handed a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe release in the pit lane. Kevin Magnussen is handed a 10-second time penalty for causing the collision with Alex Albon. Lap 17, Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton touch into turn 1, but they escape unscathed. Lap 18, Sergio Perez passes Lando Norris for 2nd. Lap 21, Oliver Bearman passes Nico Hülkenberg for 9th. Lap 22, Kevin Magnussen is handed another 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Lap 27, Charles Leclerc passes Lando Norris for 3rd. Lap 35, Oscar Piastri passes Lewis Hamilton into turn 1, but locks up and has to concede the position again. Lap 37, Lewis Hamilton pits for soft tyres. Lap 38, Lando Norris pits for soft tyres, but despite a scrappy pit stop, he stays ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Lap 41, Lando Norris noted by the FIA for weaving down the front straight and is given a black and white flag for it. Lap 43, Zhou Guanyu has a wheel nut issue in his pit stop, exactly the same as his teammate Valtteri Bottas had in Bahrain. Lap 48, Daniel Ricciardo spins in turn 1. And lap 50, Max Verstappen wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, taking his 100th career podium and 9th consecutive victory from Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc gets fastest lap. Oliver Bearman gets driver of the day.
In 4th place was Oscar Piastri for McLaren. 5th place was Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. 6th place was George Russell in the Mercedes. 7th was Oliver Bearman in the Ferrari. 8th was Lando Norris in the McLaren. 9th was Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. And 10th was Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas, getting Haas's first point of the year.
Haas got a point.
Haas got a point before RB, Alpine, Kick Sauber,
and Williams.
Yeah,
they won the shit heat battle.
I wouldn't have picked that at the start of the year.
No.
So
particularly with how they were talking pre-season. They were like, oh, we're...
And you know why that happened? because Kevin Magnussen, with his 20 seconds worth of time penalties, held everyone up.
Well,
He finished 11th, but then like the 20s he dropped to the end, so he was literally a rolling roadblock to get Nico Hulkenberg points.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And
Well-
he did it.
well, a lot of people are criticising him over that, saying, "Oh, that was
It's just
unsportsman."
well, fucking pass him.
But has anyone noticed that they've actually increased the time penalties this year?
Yeah, 5 seconds to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Look,
I think it's too much, 10 seconds.
I think, for me, if you're causing a collision, I think it should be a drive-through penalty.
He caused a collision and ruined Alex Albon's front wing.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that basically.
But he got 10 seconds. That one I'm fine with because he
He got
caused a
10
collision
seconds
with
for
Albon.
leaving the track and gaining an advantage, which actually didn't look that bad.
No, the second one he got, that's the one I don't agree
Yeah.
with. He
Yeah.
sort of overtook him, then went off the track.
Yeah, he was past him by the time he left the track, but
Yeah, I think it was Yuki Tsunoda he did
Yeah.
the overtake on. That's the one I was like, 10 seconds for that.
yeah, it was harsh.
I like 10 seconds if you cause damage. If you cause damage to another racer,
Yeah,
10 seconds, bloody oath. But ones like that, it should either just be 5 seconds or hand the place back.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem that I'm having with the current race steward. I mean, last year we had, and it was the year before as well. Like every time there was a praying, red flag. It was almost like it was an IndyCar race.
Yeah.
If there's a praying, red flag. Whereas Michael Massey, for all the shit that Ted Kravitz and Toto Wolff give him, Michael Massey always gave everyone the opportunity to hand the place back before he would give out a penalty. And I think Charlie Whiting was the same way. Like,
Well, they changed that rule. They're like, the FIA is no longer going to tell you to give the place back. The teams have to make that call themselves.
It should still come from the director in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Yeah, it's like, tell him to give the place back. You'll give the place back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
Then
leave it up
don't
to the
have
teams, they're
then
going
you
to try
don't have to penalise him.
You leave it
Yeah.
up to the teams, they'll try and buck the system, and then they'll whinge about the system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Essentially.
exactly.
yeah. And then you get a whole bunch of angry comments over the radio. But it's like if you hear it from the race steward saying, hand it back over or I'm going to give you a penalty,
You can't argue.
you can't argue that.
Yeah, 100%.
And,
I agree.
And I have to say, it's one of the few things I miss now, as opposed to that 2021 season, is not hearing the race steward on the radio.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I remember at the time of 2021, we were all saying that, it'd be a good thing for it to disappear because of the way they played it out. But I wouldn't mind hearing it again. Just like you're saying, though, just from the point of view of them directing to the team what they need to do.
Yeah, they hear it from the FIA's end, but not the team principal's end.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't want to hear Toto Wolff complaining and whinging.
Because they
to
do
the
it in
FIA.
supercars.
Yeah.
They do it in Le Mans. They do it in every sport.
Yeah.
Like, the supercars will be, this is Tim Shekin to this race control to all teams. Car 55, black and white flag for fucking being a dickhead.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the biggest problem we're still facing, though, with the race directing is the race directors themselves. Ever since we lost Massey, like him or hate him,
The consistency's gone.
The consistency's gone, and I don't feel like there's someone there that's got a bit of, I'm the director, this is the rules.
Common
Bang.
sense is gone.
Well,
You know, we kind of have this just...
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
there's no
well,
common
here's-
sense anymore.
Here's a good question to pop to you then. Who would you like to see as the race?
Michael Massey.
Michael Massey.
I'd happily
They
have
talked
him back.
about bringing him back.
I've got another name in mind. I've got another name in mind who I think would be a really good race director. Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah,
He would
I
be a
can
good
see-
race
I think
director.
he'd be
yeah.
good.
yeah, he would. Yep.
He would be great.
Yeah,
think he would,
Because
yeah.
he,
That'd be
he
awesome.
knows the rules. He knows what the drives will do to bend and break the rules. He gets along with everyone on the grid. He'd be perfect at it.
Yep.
And
he,
it's
he
not
wouldn't
like
take
he's
any shit. Yeah.
and it's not like he's doing a lot at the moment.
I don't know what he's doing at the moment. I haven't seen him since he left the paddock.
It's either that or he can get Gunther Steiner.
He's probably out there on his carbon neutral boat sailing the world for all I know. Good on him, though.
that's a good
I'm not
suggestion.
saying that derogatorily.
Yeah.
I'm like, good on him if he is.
Bloody oath.
Yeah, but I think he would be perfect at it.
Yeah, he would be.
You can't.
Mika Hakkinen.
Yeah, Mika
As
Hakkinen.
long as you can get him away from a bottle of Heineken.
Oh, just give him a bottle of
Give him a
Heineken.
bottle of Heineken. He won't give a shit either.
Yeah, he'd be
Give him
great.
Heineken Zero. He'll be
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's
well, he's
right.
in the ad.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you couldn't put like a Jacques Villeneuve in there. He's
No.
too fiery.
He's a bit hot-headed.
And like Mark Webber, you can't use Mark Webber because he's Oscar Piastri's manager.
Yeah, then you've got conflict of interest.
Correct.
Yes.
You know, you can't use a Felipe Massa.
He's trying to sue Formula One.
Yeah, because he wants his 2008
I want my
championship.
2008 World Championship. You're not getting it.
You know, the thing is, it has a massive knock-on effect. If they give him back his 2008 championship,
And we got to give Hamilton the 2021 title.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
And
right.
we can't have that.
No,
Just
we
put,
can't.
just put it away.
Yes, that's right. What's done is done.
yeah. Look, the money is no longer on the table, mate. Put it away.
It's done.
We haven't left it.
Your
Yeah,
OnlyFans
There wasn't any money to leave on the table.
Your OnlyFans page is done. Put your thing back in your pants. It's done, mate.
Close it.
Biscuits
Close the browser.
back in the cupboard. We're done.
It's wrapped up.
You know,
It's wrapped up.
it was wrapped up in 2008.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Time to move on.
Speaking of time to move on, so Max Verstappen was the winner of the race.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Max Verstappen. I
Yeah.
I actually forgot to put the song behind him last episode.
That's okay. There's another chance.
Gladly bring that back this week.
Should just be the theme song of the show at this point.
You'll be hearing that a lot this year, guys.
I stand by my statement. They need to play that instead of the Dutch national anthem. every time we race.
100%.
But you know, for all the crap that's going on in Red
Oh
Bull
my
at the moment,
God.
which we will talk about later, he seems to just jump in the car and be focused and calm and get on with the job.
Yep. He's in his element. He's in his office.
Yeah, and he's just cooking along. Like,
Running away with his will it be his fourth
This will
championship?
be 4
Yeah,
in a
number
row.
4.
Sebastian Vettel territory.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, Max Verstappen, like we didn't see much of him during the race because he just
We didn't
screamed.
have to.
We didn't have to, but I mean, we had enough action.
You know,
down.
the Saudi Arabian race was a bit shit when they're broadcasting the battle for 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
The DRS train, that is.
the
Yeah.
thing-
It was actually rather exciting for 0 points, but you know.
But the thing was, to sit there and say this race was shit, like, surely, yeah, Max and Checo were just skating off into the distance and Charles Leclerc was off to Never Neverland. But watching the other action and watching Oliver Bearman
Yeah.
really made it fun for me. Like, I enjoyed the
Everyone
race.
was cheering Oliver Bearman. Everyone.
Yeah. He was the excitement this
Well,
race kind of needed, I think.
Speaking of which, I mean, he was driver of the day, so we might as well talk about the Bearman.
Well done to him.
I mean, he had one practice session.
Yeah.
He missed out on Q3 by .038
Yeah.
to Lewis Hamilton. Like, that's, you know, that's when you've stepped up. And
Yeah.
that's, you know, and you've announced yourself is when you do that.
You
And
missed
it-
qualifying by 3/10 to a 7-time world champion.
Yeah.
And then you went and out drove him in the race anyway.
Yeah, and he did. He was cool, calm, collected in the car. He did what he had to. He didn't make any mistakes.
Nope.
And then towards the end, they said, you can push if you want because Norris is catching you. So he pushed, and he didn't kill the car. He brought everything home. He did everything. It might not have been in the higher end of the points, but he did everything he needed to get the job done.
Yeah, for an 18-year-old to jump in with no, like you said, he missed out on, 2 practice sessions? Did he only
Yes.
get one? He got
Yeah,
one
he got an
practice
hour
session.
of
He got-
practice and then the 20 minutes of qualifying he was out there
Yeah.
for.
And not to mention, he was also preparing for an F2 race all week.
Yeah.
So he was racing an F2 car all week
And
up until last minute.
When your entire experience on the track is an F2 car, and then all of a sudden you've got to relearn everything for an F1 car.
A lot more complicated, a lot more engine modes, a lot more...
And the
you know,
race is longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the longest race of his life.
The G-forces he'd have to withstand for a lot
Speed's
longer
higher,
time.
the G-force.
Yep.
Did you see he caved in the headrest?
Yeah.
Because his
Yeah.
head was just rooted by the end.
Yeah.
He was just resting his helmet on the side pod, on the side of the cockpit structure. He actually caved it in because he couldn't hold his neck up. I mean, it's the longest race of his life, at the highest speeds of his life. And what a track to make your debut.
Yeah.
Jeddah.
Jeddah's like the fastest street track on the calendar.
Yeah, one mistake and you are gone.
If you touch a curb wrong, you're going to be in the wall at 320 clicks.
Just ask Lance
Yeah.
Stroll.
Yeah.
And I
And
mean,
that was only a baby crash. Ask Mick Schumacher what that's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
and the thing is, we've got Lance Stroll, who's been on the grid for a few years now, who makes a simple mistake.
And that was a simple mistake. Like, you could almost forgive him.
And this guy, FP3, qualifying, and a race, he scores points.
P7.
Like, he honestly made Lance Stroll look stupid.
100%. He showed why Lance Stroll shouldn't be on the grid anymore, and guys like this should be getting their chance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it everyone was saying to, I think, Fred Vasseur after the race, like, are you sure you made the right decision signing Lewis Hamilton?
Well, look, let's be real. He's secured himself. He'd have to get a shot at Haas next year, you'd think.
Oh,
yeah?
I reckon,
Everyone's already saying it. They're like, he'll be on the grid next year, probably.
He'll have a seat next year for sure.
Which is funny because it does ask a weird question about F2, is the fact that if that guy's as talented as he's jumping in, how talented are the other guys at the moment that are in F2 we've been talking about, like your Zane Maloney's? Like, if they jumped in and got a chance in F1 for someone...
And the weird thing is, it's not going to be reflected in his championship position because he hasn't scored a point this year.
Yeah.
He didn't get a chance to score points
this
weekend.
Yeah.
But he didn't score points in Bahrain, obviously, either. But
I mean, you missed out on a chance of scoring points in F2, so you can go and score points in F1.
Yeah.
You can make history.
Can you bring those 7 points back to Formula 2? They should be that should be 14 points. That should be worth double.
100%.
They should be going back to F2 with 14 points.
And you know, the funny thing is about it is that at the end of the season, in one race, he'll probably have scored more points than at least 6 of the drivers on the grid.
Yeah, he's outdone Logan Sargent instantly.
Yeah. Sargent's not going to score points.
Yeah.
He's probably done Sargent, the Alpines, both Alpines, because my God, we could talk about them now.
Holy shit.
What a shocker they are at the moment. He's probably done Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah.
He's probably done the Sauber boys.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe Zoe.
Yeah, maybe
He
Zoe.
might not have done Valtteri yet.
Yeah,
or for good judgment.
Yeah, I mean, just kudos to him. And
Nah, mad respect.
Yeah, and
Mad respect, Ollie Bearman.
And because he is Ferrari Academy driver, he's going to get at Haas next year.
Yeah.
He'll be either at Haas or he'll be at Sauber.
Yeah.
More
reckon
likely
he'd be at
Haas.
Yeah, I'd say he'd be at Haas next year.
He set himself up.
And I think he'll replace Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari.
This is the pathway he's given himself. Now.
Yeah. This was the path that Mick Schumacher was supposed to be on.
And that's what's unfortunate is it's like, as again, I'm not taking anything away from Oliver Bearman. Kudos to him. He's done an absolutely amazing job this weekend. But it makes me think, like, what about all those other guys you wanted to see if they'd been given their little chance like this? They have propelled them? Like, I mean, Nick De Vries did it. He got in the Williams, that one race, got himself a seat on the grid.
Yep.
Albeit he didn't end up being any good, but...
Yeah.
You know, like, it's almost like you want to see once a year, it's like, can we get some of these guys to be given one race to just give us a glimpse? Could they get in? Because I feel like we do have all this talent underneath that we're riding off that could actually have something.
That was actually a discussion on Twitter as well. They're like, we should make it mandatory that one team every race weekend has to put in an F2 driver for like a race.
One of their academy drivers.
Yeah, put in an academy driver just to see how they go.
100%. That'd be awesome.
Or that would be really good for the sprint race.
Yes, that's where it should be.
Academy drivers in the sprint race.
Yes.
Yeah.
This comes down to where we've been saying, like, the sprint race should almost be a separate championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to put in your academy drivers.
Call it
That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
Call it the Sprint Academy.
Oh.
Yeah, we're done. We just solved blood hunger.
Well done, F1 chat. Pat ourselves on the back. We have just fixed sprint races. We've made it exciting.
We have successfully privatised world peace.
I would watch the shit out of that too.
That would honestly make sprint races awesome.
I would
for
watch
me.
sprint races now. I would be like, yes.
If you could tell me every week I'm going to see one of these guys in F2 have a sprint race, which they could handle because it's the lesser laps, you know.
Yeah, it's only half race distance. You don't even have to make a pit stop.
Yeah, it'd be that nice little
Just
step
try
up for
not
them.
to crash the car.
How awesome would it be to see, you know, Zane Maloney get a shot in Max Verstappen's Red Bull and come out and win a sprint race or something? You know what I mean? It'd be like...
I'm going to up the ante a little bit here. I like your idea. I'm going to up it a little bit. I actually think get 2 of the drivers from Formula Academy in it.
As well?
Yeah.
100%.
Because at the moment, for me, Formula Academy looks like it's a directionless series. Like, it's chicks go in the cars, broom, broom, drive around, take the checkered flag twice, all that bullshit.
And that's the thing, if we want them to have the pathway, then...
Yeah. Because after Formula Academy,
where
do they go?
You're supposed to be going to Formula 3 and Formula 2.
Yeah, but none of them did.
But they don't, yeah.
They don't. They end up at Formula Ford or whatever.
Formula Renault.
So, give them a shot in an F1 car so that they see it.
I don't know if they'd be ready for an F1 car.
That's the only thing
about it. I'm not being
sexist,
but I don't know.
No, that's okay.
Because they're driving the equivalent of an F3 car, at least an F2 car
Yeah.
is sort of kind of there, but not quite.
But it's okay. Put them in the Alpine. It won't matter.
Put them in the Alpines. They're not going fast enough to kill themselves.
They'll be retired by lap 2, so it just...
Yeah.
You're literally doing exhibition laps here.
It's either the car will break, their morale will break, or the team will break.
Well, look, to add what you're saying, maybe you don't make it mandatory to put the F1 Academy girls in, but maybe if you say you have, what's that chick that dominated the race that gone and got disqualified?
Doria Pin.
Dorian Pin.
Let's say she's dominating this F1 Academy. She's a clear cut. Maybe
Well, she
give
is,
her
actually.
give her the chance. Give the ones that are showing that, don't just hand it out to anyone in there, but give it to
Spin the wheel.
give it to the F2 guys that are in driver academies, and
Yeah.
give it to whoever's F1 Academy.
The leader.
If there's a leader in F1 Academy, give
Yeah.
her a shot. Because you're right, Phil. How are we going to make? If the idea is to make this sort of,
You got to put
bridge,
eyes on them somehow.
you've got
Yeah.
to do it. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're still not sure. Maybe they might never. When I say they, I mean women, and this is not a sexist thing, but maybe women might never be cut out for F1 because they might just not be able to handle it physically like the men
Yeah.
can, and that's okay. And we need to just keep promoting F1 Academy and hope that takes off to give its own set of eyes.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't have people watching Formula Academy, it becomes redundant.
That's right. And,
And if you want people to watch the product that you're putting out, and if you want to empower women and make them believe that they could be in F1, what better way to do it than put Doreen Pin or Abby Pulling?
Yeah.
Abby Pulling is the Alpine Academy driver.
Put her in an Alpine.
Put
In
her
a
in an
sprint
Alpine.
race.
She
In
can't
a
do
sprint
any.
race.
She can't do any worse than
She
Esteban
might even do
Ocon.
better. We'll never fucking know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Give her a shot.
You know.
I
But-
agree. I think that'd be an awesome idea.
I think
Just
I
don't-
want that to happen now. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Sprint races, forget it. You guys aren't racing the sprint races.
Yeah.
You're academy drivers, and whoever's leading the women's championship gets to drive the sprint race.
And look, what a way to bring eyes, not even just to F1 Academy, but your F2. Like,
Yep.
the only people I feel like who are watching F2 are, people who just love
Or-
Formula 1 enough. But, you've
I'm
got a lot
watching
of
it
people
because
that...
it's on before the race and I'm awake.
And let's open the floor a little bit more, okay? Because like someone like Red Bull, they've got about 4 fucking academy drivers, right?
Unlimited.
So open the floor for teams like Ferrari to run their Ferrari Academy driver and their reserve driver. So
Yeah.
Robert Schwartzman gets a turn behind the wheel as well.
Yeah.
So you've got 20 cars on the grid of young, thirsty, hungry.
13 of them are from Red Bull, but it's okay.
That they're never going to get a shot in the top team, but they're there.
And you can't actually all drive the Red Bulls because there's only 2 of them. You're going to have
No,
to have a
you got
cage.
4. You got 4.
Yeah.
The Racing Bulls.
Yep. You got Visa Capash,
Yeah,
Red Bull,
yeah, that's
whatever.
All
right.
right. You can have the good Red Bull or the shit Red Bull.
Sometimes they're pretty good, and
Sometimes
sometimes a
they're
bit of
pretty
shit.
You're going to have to have a cage fight for who gets the Red Bull.
Now we've created another championship to go
Yes.
alongside it.
So, Stefano Dominicali, we're prepared to come and work for you, but you'll
Here
be
comes
taking
the money.
you'll be taking orders from us.
We've got
Here
ideas,
comes
but
the
we'll
money.
take some cash.
Money, 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 money.
Stefano.
Dollar.
Stefano.
Ring, ring, ching, ching. You keep talking, I'll do the background music.
Cash. I'll just put the music in the background in the edit anyway. Cash.
Cash.
You've got 20 seconds to produce some cash.
We
I'll
have.
fucking shoot you.
We've done it.
Right. So yeah, Ollie Bearman, great job. He
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. That's how you put F2 on the map.
that's right.
100%.
Right. So key drivers besides Max Verstappen, Ollie Bearman. My next key driver is Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
I think he did a solid job. He might have dropped down a place from second on the grid down to third, but he drove a solid race,
Did all he could do.
and he was the best of the rest.
Yeah.
Behind the Red Bulls, the best of the rest.
Sergio Perez, second by proxy.
Yeah.
At this point, it's by proxy.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's done anything amazing.
No.
No.
He's doing what he has to do, though. So, like, at the moment, he's out of the question of
Well,
losing
he
that
finished
seat
second,
'cause
and
he's-
Daniel Ricciardo spun in turn 1. So,
Yeah, not great for
I was
Albani.
getting to that.
as Sergio Perez was passing him, lapping him, actually,
Yep.
Oh,
that's gonna hurt.
yeah, that's not great.
That'll be good on Drive to Survive. My next key driver was Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Yes,
he-
good drive.
he brought
Lando
it.
was unlucky with that safety car. He had to extend as much, and he did. He extended to like lap 38 on mediums,
Yeah.
and I think he outlasted Lewis by a lap, and then got out ahead of Lewis and held him off.
Yeah.
So Lando was unlucky, but this is about Oscar,
Yeah.
who drove brilliantly because he started like 8th, I think. He made his way up the grid really well.
6th.
Yeah, like good drive.
Yeah.
Good drive.
Yeah. No, Piastri, he brought it.
That car's bringing it this year.
Yeah, but
Considering where we finished Bahrain and Jeddah last year.
well, yeah, but the McLaren does have deficits.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny watching McLaren versus Mercedes because they got the same power unit, and yet the McLaren is 5 kph
Faster in a straight line.
faster in a straight line.
That's aero, though.
But then it's in the slower corners, the Merc's got it.
Yeah, but in the faster corners, the McLaren... Did you
Yeah.
see the onboard of Lewis trying to catch Lando?
Yeah.
Through that first section, and Lando gained 7/10 through like 4 corners.
Yeah, he got
Just
on the
flew away.
radio and said this car is a rocket.
Yeah. Through
Right.
fast corners it is.
Yeah.
Wait till it gets to Suzuka.
Is that just an aero thing, though, then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it always
yeah,
has been.
yeah,
The
yeah.
McLaren's weakness is slow corners.
Yeah.
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 And fast corners, hey, maybe Albert Park, we'll see.
Well, my next person was actually Lando Norris.
Yeah. For what, for the way the cards were dealt,
Yeah.
he still got points. And
Yeah.
he finished out of Lewis. So
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And my final key driver was Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
He got a point.
He got a point.
Thanks to K-Mag.
Yeah, you could maybe give it to K-Mag.
I could give it to K-Mag for being a rolling roadblock.
Now, well done to Haas. Like, considering the start of the year they had, how shit we thought the car would be, Gunter Steiner going. This
Only
is as
took
good a
them
start
one
you could
race
just
for
about
us to-
ask.
One race
for.
for us to eat crow.
Yeah. Who knows if is this a Ao Komatsu thing? Is this like the new team principal changing
I think
some
it was
things,
more
or
of...
just
I
Kevin
think it was
Magnussen
just a bit
being
of
a
luck,
roadblock?
yeah. I think it was more a bit devious tactics, to be honest.
Hey, but sometimes you got to do that
But
when
it
you're
worked,
scrapping
but it
for the
worked.
points.
Well,
Yeah.
no. I think it's because Ferrari made their car a little bit better. And because 90% of that fucking car is a Ferrari anyway, so...
Well, it doesn't really translate. So that's like saying 90% of the RBs are fucking... It's not. It's not anywhere near a Red Bull.
No, it's
if
not.
anyone, it's not, though, is it?
Everyone was saying it's the RB.
Oh, that's a big spider.
Jesus.
Behind me, that's good.
Are you afraid of spiders?
One's that big.
We have to
If he
pause
stay-
to get the Mortine out.
If he stays there, I'm right, but I don't know if he'll stay there. That's my heart pounding in the microphone, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. Jesus.
Okay. I'm going to keep my feet conveniently off the floor for a sec.
Hulkenberg was my next key driver. He did his job. Right, then we get to the helmet drivers.
The helmet drivers.
First one is that spider that was crawling over here.
Oof. Why did you come this way, you bastard?
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be 2 spiders.
Can we not?
Could be a rat. Right, so my first helmet driver is Esteban Ocon. Just purely because he's in an Alpine.
Just rolling roadblocks. Speaking of rolling roadblocks,
Well,
the Alpine.
Yeah.
well, I mean, Gasly finished 1 lap, and then
Yeah.
was out.
Had to retire.
Yeah, can we just give it to the Alpine team as a whole?
The whole organisation.
Oh wait, but there's more. So my next guy for the helmet driver is I hate to say it, it's Daniel Ricciardo.
That's
Yeah,
going
not a
to
great
equally
weekend.
hurt more.
He's got to start stepping up at the moment. Yuki Tsunoda's out driving him, and it's not the...
Well, I mean, he outdrove Tsunoda last week, last race, but then this race he spun right in front of the guy that he might be replacing at Red Bull.
that he wants to replace.
That he wants to replace at Red Bull, but isn't really putting his best foot forward, is he?
Yeah, you just, again, I always go back to with Ricciardo, despite that he's got his sunny disposition and everything, he needs to knock that shit off and get serious.
Well, I think he is. I think he knows this is his last chance. He's just got to make it happen. He's really going to make it happen.
Yeah.
This is going to be his make or break year.
Right, my next Helmut driver, I did actually have Yuki Tsunoda on here, but I think I'm gonna nix him off the list this week. My next one, Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
That
was a rookie error.
He gets it for. He would be probably getting my vote this week just for his radio call back to the engineer. And it's like, I hit the wall, and they're like, "Can you bring it back in?" And he's just
like, no, I'm in the fucking
no, I'm
wall.
in the fucking wall. It's just like, mate, like,
Can you bring the car?
don't give your engineer fucking
Actually,
sass.
the meme on Twitter is like, can you bring it back? And it's the Titanic hitting the iceberg. Can you bring it back? See, I use Twitter for more than just devious purposes.
Yeah, that sums it up, doesn't it?
I'm going to give it to Lance Stroll's engineer for that comment.
Yeah.
Can you bring it back? No, I'm in the fucking wall.
And my final one is Kevin Magnussen.
No, I'm going to give it to Lance Stroll's
Yeah,
engineer.
yeah,
That's a classic line.
yeah.
That's going to be used for a bit on a lot of memes, I think.
I mean, K-Mag was a rolling roadblock.
Yeah, but that was tactics, and that was pretty well done.
Yeah,
let's be
but he
honest.
also hit Albon,
Yeah, that part was a bit, yeah.
and then he completed an overtake off the track, or as we like to call it,
The Alonso line?
I was going to say the Cota IndyCar line, but
You want to talk about lack of track limits? I watched the highlights of NASCAR from Phoenix Raceway. It's like a triangle, but they cut the first corner, all of them. It's like the track is up here, and they all go through here. There's like this section of track they just don't use. They just straight line it.
yeah,
And it's like, so there's no such thing as track limits in American sport
but
at
that
all.
was the other thing I noticed about Formula Academy. They just cut the corner.
Yeah, track limits is optional.
Particularly Mia Block. Like, I know she's the daughter of Ken Block, but
It's not,
Even-
there's not enough dirt out there, man.
even he knew how to take a corner inside the track limits.
Yeah.
And seemingly she's just like, no, because she's too focused on taking photos for Instagram.
No one's complaining about that either.
She doesn't have an OnlyFans. You can't sign up.
That's a shame.
So, who are we giving it to?
Lance Stroll's engineer for making a meme-worthy comment.
I'm giving it to Lance Stroll.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Lance Stroll too, but we'll snag his engineering as like a big group one.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. So moving on, before we get to the news, I thought we'd talk about the latest season of Drive to Survive.
Hey.
Oh, we got there.
I think I had to re-watch most of the episodes because I kept falling asleep, and Netflix would just keep playing episodes, and then I'd have to.
Look, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great year.
It was boring.
I'm not sure I'm going to watch next year.
Oh, look,
I think they've lost me as a viewer now.
if Lance
It's
Stroll's
done what it was meant to do. It brought viewers in. I mean, it brought Brody in.
Yeah.
I mean, it brought your eyes to the sport, and then you just happened to join us at the greatest season we've ever
Pretty
seen.
much, yeah, pretty much.
And it hasn't
yeah.
hit that height anywhere
No,
since.
not at all, no.
Your first podcast was the Jeddah Grand Prix of 2021
Yeah.
with Max brake checking Lewis.
Mick Schumacher
just
hit the wall,
Everything
I think.
kicking off.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, congratulations, you've joined us at the peak of the sport.
It was the most epic year we've
Because
ever
this
had.
isn't going to happen again for like 20 years.
End of season review goes for like 3.5 hours. We just can't stop talking about how good a season it
It was
is.
the
Now
best
it's just like,
season.
and Max won. Next year, what do we got to look forward to?
Max is going to win. some more
What do we got to
races.
look forward to? Danica Patrick.
You, Danica Patrick!
Yes.
Max Verstappen winning by 30 seconds suddenly isn't the most boring and irritating part of this sport.
I
Sorry, I've got to cut you off for a second there. Because we're talking about it, and all I can sit there and think of is Baron Samedi from Nightmare 2 sitting there going, yo, about it, I can dig it.
I can't dig that. I can look at it as long as it doesn't open its mouth. That's the same problem everyone had with David Beckham in the 90s. It's good to look at if it doesn't open its mouth.
It puts the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again.
What is tonight, boys? Holy shit.
It's a good fucking night. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, this This season, hey, there was a couple of episodes I actually didn't really mind. I haven't completely finished it. I think I've done about 8 episodes. I've got a couple to go. But there's a couple episodes that I actually really didn't mind. But there's most of them are really just a waste. Like
Generic.
Aston Martin was just
Trying to make
Lawrence Stroll crying over Lance Stroll falling off his bike. His wallet wasn't in his pocket, so he didn't bounce this time.
He didn't bounce off the load of cash we've got to help us get through life. What is this?
He didn't have his assistant take a dive for him.
His butler just riding beside him in case he falls off. Jeeves, I'm falling. Jeeves. He just fucking doing it in a 3-piece. Just does. That's what we pay you for, Jeeves. Splendid, sir. Marvellous form.
Oh.
And then they're sitting there going, "You gonna be crying, little doggy? You gonna cry? Cry for me, doggy."
Oh, it was so cringe.
I did like seeing Danny Rick at Red Bull again, like showing how he sort of got back into Toro Rosso. I'm just going to call him Toro
Christian
Rosso.
Horner really wanted him back.
Oh, he loves him, mate. You can just tell he's got a really big soft spot for him.
Yeah.
And it probably helps as well that he's really good friends with Max Verstappen. They get along really, really well. Like I feel like they'd actually be a really good pairing at Red Bull.
They got along so well that he fucking left the team and went to Renault.
Yeah, they worked so well that he ran him up the arse at Baku in 2016.
Yeah, that's just a partnership made in
Or
heaven.
2017, I think it was.
The Alpine episode, though, I found that one episode because that one interesting because of what we know now. That Bruno Firmin
is a piece of
shit. I don't
shit.
know if they're just doing great editing, but my God, he just comes across like a piece of shit, doesn't he? Like, I mean, I'm sure that they definitely edited it to make him seem like the scheming piece of shit he is, but my God, he obviously was. Like,
He reminds me of a turtle.
Yeah, he's got no neck.
Yeah, his neck is jutting out,
Yeah.
and he's hunched over like he's a hunchback of Notre Dame.
That organisation, though, my God, what has gone on there?
What a tailspin.
What a bunch of two turds they got as drivers, eh? Ocon and Gasly. You see when they did the go-kart race and Ocon went off in a go-kart? He went off the track because they were fighting too heavy? Like, what a pair of just absolute turd burglars. Like, but Pierre Gasly saying that he wants to be like a Michael Jordan in the F1 of sport. Like, mate. Oh, mate.
I don't know what's a more fucking comical comment. That or Danica Patrick saying that she's got 30 years experience.
I deserve to be here on this Formula One program.
Yeah.
I've got 3 decades experience.
Yeah,
so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you haven't met a wall that you haven't ploughed into. Jesus Christ.
Not going to be the Michael Jordan of sports broadcasting either.
Yeah, I'm never going to be the JR of Formula One announcing, so it's just what it is. But I actually felt really bad for Otmar Zafnauer in that episode.
Too. And as
but two more.
He'd be the happiest man alive right now.
Yeah.
Watching it unfold from his living room.
But at the same time, like he got fucked over. But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, "That's what you get for what you pulled last year with Piastri."
Yeah.
That's what you
That's
deserve.
where everything started. When you bungled Piastri and Alonso.
Yeah.
That is called karma.
And then you were so shitty at McLaren because they offered him an actual contract, not a fake contract.
Yeah, they offered him a hard copy contract.
Yeah.
Not a fucking memo.
Written on a napkin.
A
at
croissant
at a
napkin.
dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
No, as much as I felt sorry for Otmar, but I'd still definitely think like he wasn't directing that in the right place. But I also feel like that whole organisation is not going in the right place. Like, it's not Otmar. As much as he probably wasn't the guy that was going to drive them to get back to winning championships, he wasn't the guy that's got them to where they are right now. You know, he
fucking dead last.
Yeah, like that's on their two-parent driver pairing. Like that has got to be the worst pairing at the moment because they just do not get along. They do not. They're a bunch of boneheads together.
That whole team is just completely dysfunctional.
Yeah. Bruno Firmin's just
the drivers,
cutting people.
The drivers don't get along. The team's disjointed. Half the team's left.
Yep.
The new boss is an asshole.
Morale must be just.
How could you turn up at Enstone every morning knowing that what's that is?
Yeah.
That's like me turning up at work right now. It's just like, fucking don't want to be here anymore.
The worst thing is, though, is that Pierre Gasly has some talent. But Ocon, like...
Gasly
everyone-
can drive. I maintain Gasly is a better driver than Ocon.
Oh yeah,
I believe
because
so, yeah.
everyone talks up Ocon. It's just like all he's done is crash into his teammates his entire career.
Gasly has at least won a race.
You know?
He's been beaten by every teammate he's had, Ocon.
Or if he's not beating them, or if he's not crashing into them, he's upsetting them at some point.
Exactly. He's such a sore loser, and he's been on the grid for far too long, and he's not the right. He's not the right.
He's still on the grid, and yet Pascal Wehrlein got booted off the grid faster. You can say, "Fuck, he's been booted off the grid."
He's a driver I would have liked to have seen.
You know,
Get some more opportunity.
and you just. What the fuck is he still doing there? Then they did the episode where it's the comparison between Haas and Williams, with Williams having like their new way of doing it. And I spent half the time going, I want James Vowles to do well,
Yeah.
but sometimes he comes across as a pretentious wanker.
Well, he did come from Mercedes.
Yeah, but he's sitting there going, oh, you know, I drink tea, I only have coffee before the race because, you know, it's too much caffeine for the blah, 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 blah. Fucking Jesus Christ, mate.
I think he's just
He is taking that team in a bit of the direction, though.
I think that's just got to do with he's probably just got like a dipotism that we all have. You know what I mean? Like he's just got a little dip, and he's just like you can tell how his mind works. Like the guy's an engineer, the guy does things in such a particular way. I just think it's how his mind works.
Yeah.
So I might come across as like
He's
a
a bit
pretentious
bland.
wanker, but I don't think he means to be. I think it's just like he's just this guy that's like I am so data focused that I literally drink my coffee down to like.
Yeah.
Everything I do is down to data, so
Yeah.
I come across like a bit of a, you know.
And that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
kinda like-
Whereas he had Gunther Steiner, who honestly, the show portrayed him as a man who's so wrapped up in his own fame.
Yeah, that he had no idea what's going on at
Yeah,
Haas.
yeah.
He really
So
did. Like,
He fucking knew.
So you can really understand why Gene Haas was pissed by December last year.
I kind of starting to agree with it. I mean, the way Haas is going so far this year, maybe they're going in a better direction than where they were under Gunter, because the show definitely did show how much, like, you know, as much as Gunter was the personality, he was everything at Haas. It's like he really didn't know, and this also comes down to Haas having like three different process. Like their whole process is wrong. That's their problem. But Gunter had no idea how to fix that.
Yeah.
He had no idea what to do with that, if that makes sense. It really did feel like he didn't know how to get the best out of the situation they had, which is a shit situation. Not taking that away from Gunter, but he probably isn't the guy who could get the best out of what they're working with. So maybe Gene was right.
He seems more like he should have been a driver manager.
Yes. He needs to be a personality.
Yeah.
He needs to be a personality.
But and then the episode about Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, I walked away from that going, why did Ferrari sign him? Because he just seemed like an obscene wanker. Like that bit where they're supposed to be doing a filming thing, and he's sitting there barking orders at them, saying, "Oh, this is taking too long, and I've been up since da 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 da." And then they're trying to get him to do a car driving bit, and they're saying, "Lewis, just stay here," and he just does a burnout and fucks off and does whatever. And they're going, "Lewis, can you please come back?"
Yeah.
The whole time you're just sitting there going, "You really are an obstinate wanker."
Yeah.
I just dread the fact that we signed this fucker to Ferrari for the next 2 years.
I also found it funny too that in that episode, him going on about being with Mercedes for life and signing a new contract and not seeing himself in another car, and then here we have.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Because it brought up the rumor thing, and then it said about him signing a contract. But did it say he signed to 2025?
He did sign to Mercedes till 2025.
So is he in Ferrari next year, or is it the year after?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's breaking contract a year early.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
He bought himself out of his own contract.
Right.
Yeah. But honestly, the one, if there's one guy who came out of this show looking a lot better than you would think, it was Fred Vasseur.
Yeah.
I thought he was awesome in the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
cool.
was pretty level-headed, isn't he?
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's got a bit of personality about him,
Yeah.
too.
And, like, oh,
Oh, when he rolls in, he's just like, I don't speak Italian. It's like you've got to learn Italian for the Italian press or they'll crucify you. And it's like, shit, okay.
but I mean, I think Will Buxton said he's like, oh, you know, an Italian team being in charge of a Frenchman, you know, the Italian press are going to murder him for it. And I'm sitting there going, do you not remember Jean Todt?
Yeah, he was French.
He was French, and he gave you 5 world titles.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Buxton. You've stepped up.
It's okay, Buxton. You're the second most pretentious person on the show this year.
He was actually tolerable this time.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I honestly
Can't
do
put
feel
my
like...
finger on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Or
They just
maybe
put
I
s-
can.
They drew our attention to hate someone else this year to give Will Buxton a break.
But
That must have been the thing. It's like, Buxton's copping some shit. We got to dig him out of this.
I think he copped all the shit online and went, okay, this time I'm just going to dial it back and just not be such a meme lord.
Danica Patrick, what are you doing?
But one addition to the show that I really liked was Claire Williams.
It was good to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen her since she left Williams.
yeah, and she offered a lot more insight than Danica Patrick did.
Oh, 100%. I liked when Claire Williams talked. As soon as Danica, there'd be like a break. You won't see Danica for like a whole episode. You're like, oh, thank God, she's probably done.
She's
Then
gone.
randomly she'd just rock up with another sentence again. I'm like, oh my God, stop talking. Just anything you say, I just cannot stand it.
And it's like a super obvious statement.
She's fulfilled the Will Buxton role from previous seasons.
If you drive fast, you're on pole. Thank you, Danica. Fuck's sake.
Something you've only done once.
You've won 1 out of 386 career races, Danica.
Yay!
Thanks for your experience and knowledge on Drive to Survive.
Yeah, I mean, why the fuck they didn't get Jensen Button to do her job, I don't understand. I mean, he's won a world
He's
title.
won a world title.
But, I think Claire Williams offered a lot of insight, and
Yes.
I know that you really enjoyed Claire Williams being back, JB.
I haven't seen Claire for a while. It was good to see her.
Yes. You didn't have... I'm not going to say that. I'll get in so much trouble. We've already made mentions to OnlyFans, so, yeah. I thought Fred Vasseur was a standout on the show. As was Christian Horner.
Well, I'd like to see his contribution next year.
Next year. It actually might be worth watching with everything.
It next year if they get in touch with this Christian Horner shit.
Yeah, with everything that's going on.
It's like, do tell your side of this.
Yeah, please.
What's File 76 to you, buddy? Because I know what I saw. And it was fucking terrible. I haven't slept since, to be honest.
Or is it white and yellow, white and gold, or is it black and blue?
Yep.
But honestly, this entire season was just a real step backwards for me.
Yeah, there
And-
wasn't a lot in it. I mean,
I
like I
mean,
said,
the
a couple of
season
good
itself
points,
was pretty
but-
fucking boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the on-track
they
stuff.
dedicated the whole episode to going to Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like, we're at Vegas, yay! And
I-
then there's
I-
like 2-second clip of Abu Dhabi at the end.
I did like
It's like,
that.
Ed Max also won the championship. But Ed.
I did like that the McLaren episode got dedicated to Gilles de Ferran.
Yeah,
That was really nice.
that was a good
too.
touch.
Yeah. Right. So moving on to the news, because we've finally hit the news. Audi has bought out the remaining 75% stock in Sauber.
So they're doing it.
They are doing it. They are in for 2026.
Yes, this is awesome.
This is what we want to hear.
In spite of everything, they're going to get there.
And I think 2026 will be teething issues for them.
Oh, yeah, they won't hit the ground running.
But I think 2027 they're going to be serious contenders.
They're going to take it to Mercedes and have an old German battle.
Well, here's an interesting question. Sauber, when was the last time Sauber won an F1 race?
As Sauber?
No.
I don't know.
It was 2008 when they were BMW. And I think it
That
was
needs
Robert
to come
Kubica.
back. BMWs and the Toyotas need to come back.
Yeah, well, Toyota in 2008 spent more than double what Ferrari spent.
Yeah, and got like 8th in the constructors.
But that's what
And then
happened.
sold up, and then Braun bought it for $1.
No, that was Honda.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that was Honda.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
no,
was talking about Toyota.
Toyota.
Sorry. Wrong manufacturer. It's all the same country.
I'll stick more
Oh,
Danica Patrick videos up on you if you keep
Please
going with
don't.
that.
Please don't.
So
That'll
yeah,
be good.
Audi 2026 confirmed. They're in. Lock, stock, the fucking lot.
Do they know the drivers yet?
No.
Are they going for Carlos Sainz?
Well, I hope they are, but apparently they want a German driver behind the car. So
Mick Schumacher's standing there.
yeah, but they keep bringing up Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I'd go Mick Schumacher and Carlos Sainz as their driver lineup.
I would too.
Right. Next news item. because holy fuck, we haven't heard enough about this. Red Bull. So Christian Horner got cleared.
But then the woman that accused him got suspended from Red Bull.
Yeah. With pay.
With pay.
With pay. And then all the stuff got leaked to journalists and rival team principals.
It got sent to everyone in the paddock, didn't
Fast 76 got copy-pasted to everyone.
And the rumour has it that it's Helmut Marko himself that did it.
We speculated this.
We did.
And
now it's actually being the truth. As like,
but
Jesus.
coinciding with this rumour is that Christian Horner was going to lose his job before the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
But now it's come out that it was Helmut Marko doing this.
Well, it's that he hasn't said that he's done it, but he's just like he may be suspended from the team.
And Christian Horner may lose his job.
If he
So
gets
Red Bull
suspended,
rocks up
that
in-
would prove he's done
But
something.
Red Bull's going to rock up in Melbourne with no one. Adrian Newey on the pit wall by himself.
And to top it all off, Josh Verstappen is sitting there running his mouth about Christian Horner.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen seemingly is sitting there going, if
Not
Helmut
on his dad's side.
well, he's saying if Helmut Marko's not in the team, he's not in the team.
Yeah, so the Verstappens have taken Marco's side.
And what's even worse is that apparently Jos Verstappen and Helmut Marko have been talking to fucking Toto Wolff.
About Verstappen going to Mercedes.
Yeah. He might be buying himself out of his own contract so he can go over and drive for Mercedes.
You're going to put yourself in the third worst car on the grid
Yeah. When you're in
because you don't like the boss?
Yeah.
And then it's even bigger what's going on, because the race did a video and broke it all down, and holy shit, I was confused. So Helmut Marko does not get along with Dietrich Matisic's son, who is now in charge of 49% of Red Bull.
It's because he didn't get along with Dietrich Mateschitz.
Yeah.
How did he get the position he did then if he didn't get along with Matisic? Because didn't Matisic put him in this position?
No, Helmut Marko got along with Dietrich Matisic, but he also got along with Christian Horner and let Christian Horner run the fucking team.
Yeah.
Dietrich Matisic's son cannot stand Helmut Marko and is a big supporter of Christian Horner. However, he's not a fan of what's going on with the team because of all this antics over Christian Horner. Christian Horner, however, has the support of the 51% owners of Red Bull, the company, which is an Indonesian family. They are pro-Christian Horner and don't like Helmut Marko. So now you've got this war going on.
It's a fucking civil war.
It's a civil war that could lead with Christian Horner out of a job, Helmut Marko working for fucking Toto Wolff, Max Verstappen leaving Red Bull and going to Mercedes, fucking Honda and Ford pulling their relationships with Red Bull.
Yeah.
Which also might mean that Sergio Perez, by hook or by crook, might be able
going
to
to
keep
be world champion.
Well, he might keep his
World
seat at Red Bull.
champion Sergio Perez by fucking proxy.
Well, no.
Attaboy.
What I was going to say was Sergio Perez might keep his seat at Red Bull.
World champion Sergio Perez.
You heard it here first from Phil, straight out of his mouth.
Default. The two greatest words in the English language. Default.
What I don't get is if the 49%, which is Dietrich's son, likes Christian Horner, and the Indonesian family that's the backing likes Horner, why don't they just get rid of Helmut Marko? Is it just because they don't want Verstappen to leave?
Yeah.
So that's like the crux.
That's
is like
the-
if Marko goes, Verstappen goes, which means the winning goes
to Sergio Perez.
Yeah.
Hey, the racing will be closer. Sergio actually can't win all the races by himself. He might actually finish.
Ricardo might get a seat next to Perez. Not over Perez.
Yeah, well, that could happen.
Wow.
But
Imagine the tension there.
But Matisic's son doesn't like the antics of what's going on, and that's why he is currently siding with Helmut Marko.
Right, because, yeah.
Despite the fact he doesn't like Helmut Marko, he's siding with him because he doesn't like all this bullshit that apparently is surrounding Christian Horner.
Right.
Are we going to get a straight answer to what the hell's going on?
Well, have we spoken about the fact that the woman that is in the centre of all this is a lover of Jos Verstappen and a former lover... No, a former lover of Jos Verstappen?
Wow.
Did you know that?
No.
So the woman in question is a former lover of Jos Verstappen. So that's why Jos Verstappen hates it so much. Now, if you don't know a little bit of backstory about Jos Verstappen as well, he's had multiple... I'm pretty sure he's had a charge for attempted murder on an ex-wife.
Holy shit.
You could look it up, but he's allegedly had all these charges against him due with past relationships. So he might not be the most...
straight down the line.
Yeah,
guy.
when it comes to relationships. So the thing is that a lot of people are saying Jos Verstappen's jealous. That's why a lot of this is being propelled. Like, you know what I mean? The file's coming out.
That would explain why after Bahrain there was that heated exchange between Jos and Christian Horner that Sky Sports Italy caught.
Yeah, they filmed it. No one could understand. Oh, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, no one can lip read what the
Couldn't
fuck's
hear
going
it,
on.
but it was pretty heated.
But then at the end of it, it finished with a handshake. So I think
Kudos to, like, Max and Sergio. They're walking into, like, headquarters and there's shit being thrown across the desk. There's, like, literal civil war desks being flipped over and shit. But they're still getting in the car and finishing first and second, so it's cool.
it's like a really successful Alpine setup. It's just fucked up.
LP, take notes. You can still be this dog shit in turmoil but winning races.
Maybe that's what LP's done. They're like, we're following the Red Bull model, but why isn't it working for us?
It's because we don't have Adrian Newey.
Because all our staff keep quitting. But in the aftermath of all of this, it appears that a lot of the Red Bull technical staff are sitting there going, well, if Christian Horner's going, we're going too.
Yeah.
This could collapse Red Bull.
Yeah. Because
It's like, you want to change the regulations to start Red Bull? Like, they're just going to collapse themselves at this point.
Because a lot of the technical team, including a guy named Pierre Wash,
Yeah.
who is Adrian Newey's like right-hand guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a rumour he's going to Ferrari. That's a fucking coup.
I've got a place where Adrian can go if he needs it. You've been there before. He can come back again.
Come back to McLaren.
Come back to McLaren, buddy.
No.
Actually, you did picture that last car you made.
He could go to Alpine. Fuck those, they need all the help they could get.
Yeah, but then we got, like, Esteban Ocon winning races.
Oh, no!
That's not what we want.
Fuck that.
He could come to Williams and bring glory back to the...
Yeah, no one will
Williams
begrudge Alex Albon for being
Hell
world
no.
champion.
Everyone will be very happy.
As long as the rear wing is painted in Canon colours.
Yes.
That's the way we want it.
Yes. By the way, this win this weekend took Red Bull above Williams.
Yes.
In the...
Told you it was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't see that one coming.
And by the end of the season, they're going to surpass Mercedes.
Yeah, 100%.
Oof.
But, Newey, go to Williams, mate.
Yes, please.
Go to Williams. If not there, go to McLaren.
Go to Audi.
Come home, baby.
No, I mean, come to Williams, because, yeah.
Yeah, that's his home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so that's the news items.
It's basically a giant shitstorm, though, Red Bull at the moment. And
but
are we ever going to find out the real,
you know what it is? It was the day that they announced that Andretti's bid for joining F1 was kaput.
Yeah.
And then Lewis Hamilton sides with Ferrari. So we've got Alpine sitting there shit in the bed, and then Red Bull comes along and goes, here, hold my beer.
Yeah.
You want to watch some inner turmoil? Here we go.
Yeah. Right. So the racing strategy, we're bringing back racing strategy this year.
Woo.
First one for the year.
This one for the year. Okay, JB,
Yes.
what are the positives of Red Bull keeping Helmut Marko?
Keeping Max Verstappen.
Right?
You keep your world champion in the car that's built around him. Even though Alex Albon says it's not built around him.
Even
Totally
though it's built around him.
You keep winning championships if Helmut Marko stays.
And Longhorn, what's the negatives of keeping Helmut Marko at Red Bull?
Negatives of keeping him.
Yes.
I don't like him as a person.
Yeah, you get this shit.
Yeah.
You just get friction inside your team. You just
get a
get
civil fucking war.
you get someone trying to chop your head off from underneath you. Like you get someone undermining
Like Bernie Form.
the team principle. Yeah, you know what I mean? You
No,
just get someone causing
actually,
drama.
I've been saying his name wrong. It's Bruno Firmin.
Yes, why have we been saying Bernie?
I don't know. Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Because Bernie Collins.
Because he walks like Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. I just a personal point. I'm really starting to get sick of Bernie Collins.
Her accent is so terrible.
She just talks like a plank of wood with a Scottish accent.
It's
the Irish
terrible.
accent.
Yeah.
And
It's like she's got the charisma of a vacuum set to blow.
I have to strain my ears to hear what she's saying because it's just so thick.
Yeah, you can't just listen naturally. Like you have to really
Oh,
be
Claddy.
trying to, Yeah. Oh, Willie.
We're going to put the hards on and then we're going to put the softs on.
I'm your uncle, Argyle.
But you know your cheese eating surrender monkeys.
Let me take your lives. I'll never take our freedom. No, wait, she's Irish, not Scottish.
It's St. Patrick's Day. I've had 20 Guinnesses.
Tea potatoes.
Terry Passion
anyway.
and Periwinkle Blue Bass.
Happy International Women's Day to both Bernie Collins and Danica Patrick.
And this Sunday is St. Paddy's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, especially to Bernie Collins.
Have some Guinness. Right.
Yeah, it might make it clarify a
So-
word. Might actually be able to understand you.
Yeah, the more she drinks, just the clearer she gets.
Yeah. It's like reverse psychology.
Yeah, but the reverse is she starts talking like a pikey from Snatch. Terry Passion and Periwinkle Blue Bass.
Yeah.
So let's go for it's got to be. Tells your base is hot.
I'd listen to it. Who's the Bernie Collins?
Wouldn't understand anything, but it'd be a bit more entertaining.
It'd be great.
How about let's go put on the sauce that goes for the sauce.
It's like
And
that-
thank you, Bernie Collins. We're back to the race.
Everyone's on Twitter going, can someone put her fucking subtitles on? Jesus Christ on a bicycle. So what other negatives have you got for keeping Helmut Marko?
Outside of him just being a
shit
hell
stirrer.
piece of shit vermin. Yeah.
A helmet.
Yeah, pretty much.
The helmet
actual
of the
helmet.
week is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The helmet of the month at the moment.
At this rate, he's going to be the helmet of the year.
Yeah. I guess another negative is it keeps Josh Verstappen there because it keeps Max. And Josh Verstappen's a bit of a helmet himself, always sticking his nose in things he probably needs
He really
to stay
is.
out
He
of.
really fucking
Yeah,
is. He's got to fuck off.
When he's not getting cooked alive in a Benetton.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know who he hated the most when he was at Benetton? His fucking teammate, Michael Schumacher.
Why?
Absolutely despised him.
Because you can't keep up with him.
Yeah, and now his son is fucking Michael Schumacher at the moment.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher is like...
It's all right when the chips go your way, isn't it? Right. My thoughts. I think Helmut Marko needs to go. I honestly don't see any positives in him because, like, a few people have said, he's really good at spotting talent. Until you sent me the website of all the drivers that have gone
How
through the fucking
ridiculous
Red
was it?
Bull
Hey.
Academy.
Yep. So many. And then there's, 3 that have actually made the team, and one of them's Max Verstappen.
You got Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, fucking Pierre Gasly,
Yeah.
Daniel Kvyat,
Yep.
Alex Albon.
Alex Albon, Liam Lawson,
Sebastian Buemi.
Sebastian Vettel, Scott Speed, the greatest of them all.
Yep.
Sebastian Buemi. John Eric
Yep.
Verne.
Yep.
Fuck, how far back are we going?
Brendan Hartley.
There were so many. I'll have
I
to
wish
look
John
up.
Eric Verne had a longer tenure in Formula One. I actually liked him. He was a good driver.
They honestly had. I mean, it's proven because literally a bunch of their academy drivers are on the grid at the moment for other teams and are decent drivers. So
Yeah.
it proves that they can, I guess, spot talent or at least throw talent under their academy. But can they actually develop them into drivers? Because they clearly don't. Because they.
Well, they developed 3. Max, Sebastian Vettel.
It's almost like he goes, this driver's good, 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 only because he's seen them take a corner.
If you
It's
throw
just
enough darts at the dartboard, like eventually you're going to hit a bullseye.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
a broken clock is right twice during the day.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Well, here we go. We'll throw this back to you then, Longhorn. What are the positives of keeping Christian Horner?
The positives,
Yes.
I mean, the guy turned them into what they are when
Yeah.
they took over. He's turned them into a championship-winning team. I think he's a really good team principal, probably one of the best on the grid. He's a good personality. I think he's a fair but firm team principal. I think he brings a lot of value. Like, I think he's been the main reason that they have developed their championship-winning mentality is Christian Horner. I know they've got the perfect storm of, the
best
Max
driver and the
Verstappen,
best aero guy.
Yeah, that's all part of it, but I still do think he plays such an important part. He's like a Toto Wolff at Mercedes for all those years. He's part of the reason why Mercedes was so great. I know there's a lot of other parts that go into it, but I just don't think you can undervalue the part he played, despite there being other important parts. So, the positives for me is I think you keep the stability and the championship-winning mentality that Red Bull's developed through his tenure.
JB, what are the negatives of keeping Christian Horner?
I don't think there's a negative of keeping Christian Horner. Christian Horner just needs to somehow get his name cleared.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great team principal. He's great. He's awesome. He's got personality. He's smart. He's switched on. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that he's being portrayed to be. But someone needs to clear his name, if not him. Like, he just needs to clear his name. And just this shit just needs to go away for a bit. Because I would rather keep Christian Horner than keep Helmut Marko.
Yeah.
I would rather see Helmut Marko gone
Yeah.
than Christian Horner gone. Because I think it's better for Red Bull.
Right,
But-
do we want to hear a list real quick of all the alumni of Red Bull?
Go
This is
for
the
it.
thing I showed you the other day. Basically, all the drivers that have been in their academy.
Yep.
So the ones that have basically actually done anything was Max Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda, because right now he's in Red Bull. Where was it? Obviously Daniel Ricciardo.
Yep.
And Liam Lawson, who's in Super Formula at the moment, but he's not in anything. But then you've got Jehan Daruvla, didn't go anywhere, but was in F2. Nothing now. Johnny Edgar, Yuto Nomura, Ren Sato, Noel Leon, Yuri Vips. Do you remember Yuri Vips?
Yeah, Yuri Vips was in Formula 2 for a bit.
He was alright, but he said some derogatory comments over his Twitch channel.
Whoops.
Apparently. Whoops, that cost him everything. Jack Doohan.
He was in the Red Bull
he was
system,
Red Bull
now he's
system.
in the Alpine system.
Pato Award.
Wow. Well, he can't drive an IndyCar, that kid.
Yep. Harry Thompson, no idea. Lucas Oyer, no idea. Neil Verhagen, no idea. Richard Forshaw, who's in F2
In
at the
F2.
moment. Sergio Sette, Nico Kari, Lewis Leeds, Dean Stoneman, Callum Ilott,
Yep, he's over in IndyCar now.
Pierre Gasly,
Yep, at
Alpine,
Alpine.
Carlos Sainz,
Yep,
Ferrari,
Ferrari for
can,
now.
can drive.
Can drive.
Tom Blomqvist, Daniel Kvyat,
Yeah, keep it at.
load more, because that's how many there are, so they have to keep loading more pages.
Load more.
Antonio Felix, Lewis Williamson, Stefan Wackenbauer, Alex Albon,
Yep,
Can
at
drive.
Williams now. Can drive.
John Eric Verne,
Yeah, he was good. I wish he had more time on the grid.
Brendan Hartley. God,
Yeah,
what a haircut he had.
Brendan Hartley, I think's at Le Mans now. I think he's
Yeah,
doing
right.
World Endurance Championship.
Nice. Robert Wickens.
Who?
Robert Wickens.
No.
Mirko Bottolotti.
Who?
Mikhail Aleshin. Mika Maki.
There's a lot of kids that just
Jamie
didn't make
Alguersuari.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, Yami Alguersuari, he was in Formula 1
Yeah.
for a bit.
Daniel Juan Cadella. John Edwards. Karun Chandok.
Yeah, he drove in F1. Now he's on the Skypad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tom Dillman. Stefano Coletto. Sebastian Buemi.
Yeah, he was
John-
on the grid for a bit.
John Carl Vernet. Pedro Bianchini. Kevin Marocca. Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, we know
Oliver
that guy.
Oakes, and we've still got another load more. Michael Amamula, Felipe Albuquerque, Eduardo Piscopo, Adrian Zwag, Neil Yarni, Niall Quinn, Yoshitaka Kuroda, Nathan Anchuernes, Philip Eng, Martin Renger. Oh, it's just I could just keep going now. Just like another load
Okay,
more.
there's
So
like a whole
I'll
lot of
stop
names
there,
I've
but
never heard.
Just
There is
name
actually
after
one.
name.
There was actually one name I saw on the list when I was going through it all, where I was just like, "He fucking what?" Matthias Lauda.
Really?
Nicky Lauda's son.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't come across him yet.
There's a lot of people in that academy that.
Just,
Yeah, but don't forget this Red Bull Academy goes all the way back to the 90s
Yeah.
when Red Bull sponsored Sauber.
Well, yeah, the drivers were getting progressively older.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're far back as Sebastian Vettel, and he was around in like 2008 when he started.
Yeah, so it went back to 2001 season. That's as far back as it went. But I guess it adds to the point of how many guys they've just thrown darts at. Because you look at other driver academies, and they only have a few guys at a time through the years.
I mean,
you know?
even that list, there was only 8 or 9 that made a Formula One grid,
Yeah.
Yeah,
let alone anywhere else.
yeah. And there would have been about 60 guys.
And only, what, 2 of them were world champions?
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel
Wait.
and Max Verstappen.
Whereas you've got like the Williams Driver Academy, they've brought us such nuggets as Logan Sargent.
Such lumps of coal.
Yeah, that's about it.
American made.
Florida man.
But I mean, then you've got the Alpine Driver Academy that gave us Oscar Piastri.
Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. They're not in the academy, they just drive for them.
No, but
That car looks like an academy car, though.
yeah, but Oscar Piastri was in their academy.
And Jack Doohan.
Yeah.
Guan Yu Zhou was Alpine.
Yeah, well, look. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
I think all it shows is as much as they have had success, like the idea that Helmut Marko can spot talent is like, if you throw enough darts, like I said, at the dartboard, you're going to hit eventually.
Well,
Then
look
you
at
get
that
enough
list. He can,
guys.
see,
Well,
he can spot talent, but like 8 of those drivers made a Formula One grid, and 2 of those drivers were world champions. And that list was like 30 people long, and we haven't even made it to the end.
And out of those guys, like 8 of them that made the Formula One grid failed at Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have successful careers at Red Bull.
And a
but
few of them didn't even make it out of Toro Rosso. So.
Yeah.
personally, I think that it's Christian Horner that's the better talent scout.
I agree.
Because Christian Horner didn't see anything in Nick de Vries.
No. But Helmut Marko did.
Christian
Yeah.
Horner's the better man manager.
Yeah,
100%.
Like, he can talk and he can...
but I think it'd be stupid for Red Bull to let go of Christian Horner.
Exactly.
I agree.
If they let go of Christian Horner in favour of Helmut Marko, even if that means potentially losing Max Verstappen,
Here's the
it's
thing.
better for the team.
I guess this begs the question, like, what's more important to Red Bull, Max Verstappen or Christian Horner? Honestly,
Christian Horner.
I think it's
Christian
Christian
Horner.
Horner. Because I think even if you lose Max Verstappen, you could throw in another decent driver. He's going to have a shot at a world championship.
Because Adrian knew he's still
Because
there.
Adrian knew he's there. That's right, exactly right. But, so, I mean, is that what it's going to come to? Is it going to come down to, do we keep Christian Horner and lose Max Verstappen? Or do we get rid of Christian Horner and keep Max Verstappen? Because I think if they want to sustain success over the long term, you need to keep Christian Horner.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because with Christian Horner, you keep Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
I don't think the team needs Helmut Marko.
No,
Absolutely.
I don't
doesn't.
know what Helmut Marko brings to this team besides being a senior fucking overseeing figure.
and
You're not on the pit wall. You're not fucking designing the car.
Yeah.
You're
And-
sure as hell not fucking driving
and
it.
just being an old prick who doesn't know when
Like,
to
what are you
shut
doing?
the fuck
You're just
up.
fucking standing there in your button-up shirt, looking
Looking
ominous.
for ways to undermine Christian Horner because you want to be the main man.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like he
and
does.
sitting there saying racist shit about Sergio Perez.
Yeah. When has he ever done anything positive?
Just
for
brings
Red Bull?
animosity to the team
Yeah.
and racism,
Yeah.
casual racism.
Like, this is the most dominant team we've seen since Mercedes. Like, they're actually dominating, and yet here we are talking about them imploding.
Imploding.
You know what I mean? Like, we should just be sitting here just clapping them every week because of how outstanding they've been. Instead,
And
we're like,
Instead, they've turned into Metallica during Saint Anger, where it's the making.
Everyone's getting divorced and the band nearly breaks up.
Yeah, it's the making of an album, the unmaking of a band.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
yeah, the worst sounding snare known to man.
that's
It's just
who.
some kind of monster DVD right here.
Yeah, but my thoughts on it is, I think they'd be stupid to let go of Christian Horner.
Yeah,
I mean,
they can't.
there's multiple reasons why. Like, he is a great team leader. He's not shy about telling Toto to make a better fucking car.
Yeah,
You
which
know?
we all loved.
That was great.
His wife is hot.
His wife is hot.
You know, and he just seems like a really good team leader.
Yeah.
And it's
Helmut Marko is not that guy.
no.
Yeah, Red Bull will be poorer off choosing Marko over Horner, but I don't know, but Horner needs to get his name cleared somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
Like, there needs to be a resolution that is transparent for everyone to see, and we can just move the fuck on with it.
Yeah.
Right. So we get to the drivers' standings. Woohoo! Drivers' standings finally. So in first place we've got Max Verstappen on 51 points. Second place we've got Sergio Perez in 36 points. Third place is Charles Leclerc on 28 points. Fourth place is George Russell on 18 points. Fifth place is Oscar Piastri with 16 points. Sixth place was Carlos Sainz with 15 points. Seventh place is Fernando Alonso with 12 points. Eighth place is Lando Norris with 12 points as well. Ninth place is Lewis Hamilton with 8 points. And in 10th place is Oliver Bearman with 6 points.
With one race, he has outscored half the grid.
Is he going to be the
two races.
Is he going to be that Lance Stroll of last year where he just hung on to 10th for ages, but
Well,
this
he's
guy's
only-
only done one race for the year?
He has outscored half the grid, and half the grid have done 2 races, and he's done 1.
And it might take half the year for someone to overtake him for 10th.
Well, you want to know who's in 11th?
Who's in a...
Hulkenberg.
Nico Hulkenberg with 1 point. And
It
12th
could take a while.
and 12th place is Lance Stroll with 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Oliver Bearman's going to be 10th for a while, and he's not even driving.
He's going to finish in the top 10 at the end of the year with one race.
What's Carlos Sainz's recovery time? Is he doing Melbourne?
They think he might be, yeah.
I sort of hope he's not now. I want Bearman to do another 7th place finish and just see how long he stays on the leaderboard for.
Yeah, you
If he gets 12 points, man, he's going to be 10th for ages.
Forever.
And you know what's even worse? If he goes back to F2 and wins F2. So they've won F2 and has 12 points is in top
And
10
in
of
2
F1.
races, he's top 10 of the Formula 1. Give that man a seat.
Give that man a cigar. So, yeah, that's the drivers.
And Pierre Gasly is the 21st driver on that list. It's like, 21 out of a 20-team season.
You know
that hurts.
You know what that feeling is? That's the feeling of trying to squeeze out a fart and it turns into a shit.
That's the Nikita Mazepin spot, buddy.
You
don't wanna be there.
Spot.
Oh, you don't want to be there. So in the team standings, you've got Red Bull Racing on 87 points. Ferrari is in second with 49 points. McLaren is in third with 28 points. Mercedes is fourth with 26 points. Fifth place is Aston Martin with 13 points. Sixth place is Haas with 1 fucking point.
They're on the board.
Seventh is Williams. Eighth is Kick Sauber. Ninth is Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. We can't figure out our fucking name. And 10th is Alpine. We can't figure out our team. All with 0 points.
Wow.
RB's just like, we hate this whole name, so we just deleted everything. Control A, backspace. RB.
Well, they couldn't call it AlphaTauri anymore because they're sponsored by Hugo Boss.
You can't call it Toro Rosso.
Yeah, why didn't they just go back
Just
to
go
Toro
back to
Rosso?
Toro Rosso, you dickheads. You went back to the livery, just go back to the fucking team name.
Yeah. What
You
was
can't call
wrong
it-
with that?
You can't call it Scuderia Toro Rosso because they'll confuse you with Ferrari, but
Well,
actually that didn't stop them, did it?
no, if you're in Italy, you've got to call yourself Scuderia.
What does Scuderia mean?
Racing stable.
But they're not affiliated with Ferrari.
No, but that's what...
Is RB itself still in Italy?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
They are moving to
Milton
Milton
Keynes.
Keynes, though, aren't they?
Unless you ask those idiots that did that trivia night a couple of years ago.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah, what's the...
Where's
the Red Bull Formula 1 team based?
Yeah, fucking
In
Austria.
Yeah,
Hey,
Austria.
It was a trivia night, and they said Austria, and I've gone, no, that's not right.
Milton Keynes.
And
And we
everyone-
had to Google it.
I had an entire room of people looking at me. Even Jamie sitting there looking at me going, well, shut up.
It's Milton Keynes.
I'm like, no, mate, it's in Milton Keys, mate. Oh, it's said on Wikipedia. Well, there you
There's
go.
your first problem.
There you go.
The headquarters for the drink.
You know, and they even said, oh, but they play the Austrian national anthem. I'm like, yeah, the fucking parent company is in Austria,
Yeah.
but the team is based in Milton Keynes, in England. And then they got the phones out. Oh, it does say on Wikipedia that the team manufacturing plant is in Milton Keynes. So we'll give
Everyone gets a point.
you, so we'll give you a point.
Along with everyone who said Austria already. We got duped.
And I turned around and said, "You damn Skippy, you give me a fucking point."
You give me double points.
Yeah, I'm the fucking F1 genius around here, you son of a bitch.
We need to do another trivia tonight.
Motherfucker. Right. So that is the constructors. Now we get to their fun part that we haven't done for the last couple of episodes.
In case you've forgotten, because we reminded you at the start.
So you can watch this episode on YouTube on the F1 Chat, care of Vindicator 18 channel, which is also the home of our wrestling podcast, Stop the Damn Match,
Yes.
and other assorted shit.
Other assorted tribe.
Whatever I click like on. Yeah. You could also watch us on the F1 Chat 1 channel.
Yep.
Yes?
Is that still being updated?
Yes, we've got 2 channels, so
Yes.
we've got the
So we're
Vindicator 18 and
we're
F1
just
Chat does have their own.
flooding it. Like
Yeah.
you on OnlyFans. Just flooding it.
We're just going to create
Whoa,
so many channels.
Just our Twitter account's flooding OnlyFans, not me.
Speaking of the Twitter account, that is...
If you're charging $12.99 USD for your content, find me at the F1 Chat 1 on Twitter, because I'll find you.
and it's lights out and away we go. So the Twitter is...
The F1 Chat
Yep.
_1? Or is it the F1 Chat 1?
I don't know. You're the one
Oh,
with the F1
You're the
Chat.
Twitter man.
I think it might be. We'll fix this.
The F1 Chat is spelled ONLYFANS.
No. I should probably get off OnlyFans for a second.
Jesus Christ.
Christ almighty.
But God almighty, it is the F1 Chat 1. Don't forget the 1.
Don't forget the one. You can interact with us on Facebook on the F1 Chat. And we have the videos going up on Rumble.
Yep.
The F1 Chat. And
Spotify.
Spotify, that's the one.
Where
You're
you'll
listening
hear
to what?
this.
Probably the
Spotify.
app you might be listening to this on.
It's on the Spotify, the F1 Chat. I occasionally have that on and listen to myself while I'm doing other things.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
It's a guilty pleasure.
except your thing is OnlyFans.
Look,
Thanks for signing us up for all the OnlyFans shit.
I know, I can be sure that we always get 3 downloads an episode because it's us 3 just listening to ourselves.
our own episode.
Oh,
because
and
we're
4
that
because probably Barry as well. So
that's
And
our
Barry.
pretentiousness.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So next race is Melbourne
Woohoo!
in a week and a half.
Yeah. We'll be able to watch that live, perhaps.
Yeah, we can watch it live, whereas everyone is complaining on social media.
We're going to have
about
it 2 in the
I
morning.
have to watch it at 6 in the morning. And like I saw this on I think it was the F1 page this morning where people were complaining, well, we've got to stay up until 6 for a boring fucking race. And this Kiwi guy's gone, welcome to our world, bitch.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Zero sympathy.
And
boys.
I was just like, I cannot thumb this hard enough. Like, yes, thank you for hitting the nail directly on the head.
Super like.
And there was a guy from Perth who commented going, yeah, but the races are on even earlier for me. It's like, fuck off to Perth, you asshole.
It's only 2 hours early, you cockhead.
Yeah, you fucking...
Oh, and it starts at lunchtime for you. How inconvenient.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
What a Sunday. What are you doing at lunchtime on a Sunday?
Watching the F1 from
You're
Melbourne.
watching the fucking AFL, you pen.
Hey,
I mean, he might be.
you take your AFL out of your mouth.
Take my sport out your fucking mouth. Sorry, Longhorn. I forgot you were from Adelaide.
Right. So, next race, Melbourne.
Yes.
Week and a half time. Be able to watch it live. Do this thing. Should be good.
Hell yeah.
Until then, thank you for tuning in. Stay away from OnlyFans. Until then, it is goodbye. Hello there in Internetland. This is episode 3 of the 2021. No, fuck.
I wish it was 2021. At least the race could be fucking exciting.
Take us back, please.
All right, let's try this one again. Got a little bit too excited.
Just like Johnny on the F1 chat Twitter.
You do realise this is going to end up at the end of the episode as the bloopers, right?
That's fine. I don't need to know the accounts we follow.